Why play Teemo Support? Well, he's a massive lane bully. He deals tons of damage. The blind is an incredible counter against ADCs, and his mushrooms give him amazing objective control. However, he is squishy, especially if he gets CC'd, and if he falls behind, he is going to struggle to have any impact. Teemo's passive is after he stands still without taking damage for 1.5 seconds, he becomes invisible. He will remain invisible unless he is displaced. If he becomes invisible in a brush, he can then move around the brush and stay invisible. Also, when he breaks out of this invisibility, he gains a good amount of attack speed. Teemo's Q is a point-and-click ability which deals damage and blinds enemies hit. Teemo is the only champion left in the game with a blind, and it causes the champion hit to miss all basic attacks. Teemo's W has a passive where he gains bonus movement speed when he hasn't been damaged by a champion or tower recently, and the active causes him to gain a chunk of movement speed. Teemo's E is just a passive. It causes his basic attacks to deal additional damage on hit and also apply poison. Poison's targets take damage every second for 4 seconds. Teemo's ultimate is his mushrooms. Upon use, he throws a mushroom on the floor which becomes invisible after 1 second, where these last for 5 minutes and grant sight of the area around it. If this mushroom is thrown on top of another mushroom, it will bounce to go even further. When an enemy walks on top of a mushroom, they take damage and are poisoned, as well as being revealed and slowed. In addition, the mushrooms work on an ammo system, so Teemo can build up multiple at a time. Teemo's combo is very straightforward, where you auto-attack into Q, auto-attack into W, and then keep spamming away with your high damage auto-attacks. And of course, throw a mushroom at them if you think it will hit. For matchups, Teemo can struggle against champions who don't let him get into his shorter range, and he's great into enchanters who simply won't be able to do enough to protect their carries. For runes, take this. Dark Harvest makes everything hurt more. For build order, start Spell Thief and Pot into Landry's and tier 2 boots. After this, a Demonic and Morello's are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ignite. Starting the game, you are very strong from the get-go and you want to push your level 2 power spike as fast as possible, as simply with your Q and E available you deal too much damage. If you're able to get within your auto attack distance from an enemy and keep attacking, you deal incredibly high damage with your E poison and you win by default. Otherwise, your main focus is going to be looking to poke hard and take good trades. One of the most important things for support Teemo is brush control, as you can go invisible inside the brush incredibly safely. When you're invisible in the brush and can still move around in the brush, you can then pop out with an attack speed buff, put out a ton of damage and simply drop back in. So as often as you can on the enemy carry, look to pop out, auto attack into a Q and then pop back in for a free trade, as even if they attack you before you go back into the brush, they're blinded and it won't hit. When you hit level 6, you want to start placing shrooms around the map. Good places include where the enemy jungler will walk past to get to you, close to walls people commonly walk against, and in brushes. Entering the mid game, you want to take your tower as soon as possible and rotate mid. This will put you and your carry in the center of the map for easy sieging and will allow 2 strong champions to quickly roam to fights and objectives. Also, Teemo has amazing objective control, so before a dragon or baron spawns, make sure to place shrooms all the way around it and also in all jungle entrances. Entering late game teamfights, your job is to simply deal damage and keep yourself safe, which isn't that easy because everyone loves killing Teemo. Use your W to avoid anything dangerous and spam out attacks.